Right, good morning everyone, Chris here from Hobie Fishing with you. We've travelled now from our start location off the launch site there at Bemm River, and we have made our way all the way across the basin up into the river system to the point that we are just out in front of where the opening to the ocean would otherwise be. We've travelled up here and followed through with Josh Carpenter. Now, Josh has been a former employee with us at Hobie and a very, very well-versed angler, and I guess somebody that most people around the bream scene would know, I guess, from the days of Lure and Fly, and then also his affiliation with Daiwa over the years. Josh has been away from the Hobie kayak bream scene for a couple of years. I think he's moved himself back into Sydney, and but I think obviously there's that love and passion that has continued along for Josh. With I guess most forms of fishing. I think he's an angler that actually covers, a lot of different facets of fishing, a lot of freshwater, chasing trout and yellows, as well as in being a very, very long-term bream angler. So what we might try and do is we're right up here on some flats that are probably barely sort of 1.5 to 2 feet deep. And Josh is just sort of making some big fan casts out across the area here to try and snag that first fish in the well. From what we did here yesterday though, it was likely that there were a few yellowfin bream up in this neck of the system. So let's just stay tuned with Josh here for a few minutes and we'll see how we go.
Oh, hey Chris, as I said to you guys as you were pulling
there's
up.
a few sort of little patches of weed.
Yeah.
Yep.
I saw a lot of fish up here yesterday. You would just get up in 1.5 foot of water where you can see the shags on the tree over there, and you'd see schools of 20 or 30 fish. I had a couple of casts, I caught fish, and I thought, well, I'm gonna get out of here. However, the conditions are chalk and cheese to yesterday. Yesterday was about 25 knots, waves through here. I feel like the fish had no worries getting up in that really shallow water. I'm right up the very, very front of Bemm River, right at the entrance. We've got the sea over there, and I figured the prawns on that new moon are going to try and move and get out if they can. I've seen some videos of the prawns they're catching in the basin at the moment, and they're about 3 inches long. So they'll be ready to get out and try and spawn, but we'll see how we go. I think I'll give it probably 2 hours here.
Yep.
I think the weather's going to play a big part. I think they're going to be a bit spooky up in this shallow water. I might pull off. There's a bit of a 6-foot hole back there and give it a go, but I might end up doing what I wanted to do for pre-fish, which was go towards Mud Lake, but it was just too windy to do yesterday.
This is obviously the time that you do want a bit of wind back on the water now, as opposed to having these absolutely glassed out conditions. But obviously, look, they're still here. They just probably like to be a little more finicky than having that sort of protection and cover on the surface.
Yeah, well, look, I'd love it to be 25 knots right now, but the paddling all the way here in 25 knots is just an arduous task.
It was wave bit
to wave yesterday on the way home.
Yeah, be a little bit wet behind the ears.
Yeah.
But you're right, I can see out here where these shags are, and you've got a little bit of structure there to work with. So I guess just covering that flat as you move into it, then hit a little bit of that structure, and hopefully if they're not out here on the flat just sort of free swimming, they're likely to be up and underneath that cover.
Well, I'll tell you the one sneaky thing. There's actually a lagoon up the back there, and the water's just ankle deep. You got to pull the drive out, pull the entire kayak across it. I had one cast in there yesterday and got a yellowfin of probably 900 grams, and
yeah,
again
right.
left it. I think those fish are stuck in there. I grabbed the yellowfin, I had a good look, and I thought, right, I'm going to release you out this way.
Yeah.
And his back, there's not enough water to even cover his back. So I think they've been stuck up there since low water, and it is rising a little bit at the moment, but for sure I'm going to be dragging the kayak over that sand all the way up the back to that little lagoon.
It'll be a really, really interesting spot, mate. I mean, it's still a game of tactics. It's something that, you know, you've got to have a plan in the kayak series and you've got to stick to that plan. You know, you don't have
Definitely.
quite the same ability. I mean, Bemm's a little bit different. It does give you, I guess, an opportunity to get around most of the lake.
Yes.
But that's not the same in a lot of the waterways that we get to. So you have that plan, you stick to that plan, and really you've got to make every effort to make it work.
Well, it was definitely a tactical choice coming up here, and as I said, it was a 50-50 coin flip of if it's going to work out or not.
Yeah.
So hopefully, hopefully the cards are in my favour.
All right, mate. I do hope it works out, and we'll hang around for a couple of minutes and just see if we can't see you get onto a fish.
Perfect. Thanks. I'll see you back at the weigh-in.
Will do, mate. See you at 2 o'clock.
Yeah, you should see that lagoon up the back there.
Yeah, really neat.
The water's clear.
Yeah.
Like it's almost blue looking water because
There's been no flow,
No,
no
it
nothing
hasn't.
through there.
I hope this works out.
But like you said, mate, you just want a bit of wind on it, yeah?
Well, I'd like a lot of wind.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was a punish yesterday. But yesterday I was getting them in like 1.5 feet. But I figure if they don't want to be in 1.5 feet, they might want to sit in 2.5 feet this morning.
I might just get back up on the top side of him, Jim, and then I'll take a couple of photos and we'll make a run.
I got some huge flathead up here yesterday.
Oh,
too.
really?
Oh, like
The-
I got a 75 that was the fattest thing you've ever seen.
I haven't, I probably just haven't been paying enough attention to the bottom there at the moment, but I mean, it is crystal clear.
Yeah.
There'd probably be a couple of good lies that you'd been able to see.
I wish I had a big, like 18 centimetre swim bait to just swim over the top of it.
What are you munching on, Holmes? You're smashing that popcorn.